we are going to talk about three forms for the equation of a line. Okay, our first form is standard form, ax plus by equals c. Ax plus by equals c. A, b, and c are just numbers. So 7x minus 3y equals 17 would be an example. Okay, that would definitely be an example. Now, ironically, that's the standard form, it's called. And it's the one we probably use the least because the other ones are so useful. But we still use standard form because there are some lines that cannot be written in slope-intercept form or point-slope form, most notably, and really x equals 7 or x equals anything x equals. We can't really write those in slope-intercept form. And because those are the equation of a vertical line. And we can't write those in slope-intercept form or point-slope form. The second one you've seen a lot, is, of course, slope-intercept form. And this is the slope. This is the y-intercept. Okay. And then point-slope form, much simpler. I much recommend point-slope form. It's the one I use almost always. Slope, and then this is from the point, and this is from the point. So it's given the point and the slope. That's why it's called point-slope form. It's made up of the slope and the point. Now, so let's look at this example. Find the slope and y-intercept of the line 4x minus 5y equals 22. So they're asking us for the slope, which is m, and the y-intercept, which is b. So if we had it in y equals mx plus b form, that would be pretty helpful. So let's put it that way. Let's take this equation and solve it for y. So we know what to do. We subtract 4x from both sides. That's going to cancel. So I have negative 5y equals negative 4x plus 22. Divide by negative 5. The negative 5's are going to cancel over there. And negative 4 divided by negative 5, that becomes positive 4 over 5. X and plus negative 22 fifths. And so the slope is 4 over 5. And the y-intercept is negative 22 over 5. We did that right from there by solving that equation. Okay. So let's look at the next example. Write the equation of a line that passes through 5, 2 and 11, 16. So previously we did the slope of this line by doing m equals, we did 16 minus 2 over 11 minus 5, and we said that was 14 over 6, which we reduced to 7 over 3. Now, once we have that slope, we have the slope and we have a point, and we have 2 points. There are actually 2 things that we could write that would be correct. And either one of these would be acceptable. So I'd write y equals y1, let's write it with this point right here. It'd be 2 from there plus 7 over 3 times x minus 5. Or that would be one acceptable answer. You do not have to do both of these, but I want to show you both of them. We could use the other point. We could use this point. Y equals 16 plus 7 over 3 times x minus 11. Either one of those would be a perfectly acceptable answer. Alright. So now let's write the equation of a line with slope 11 and y-intercept negative 6. So they give us m and they give us b. Well, in that case, writing it in y equals mx plus b is real easy. So y equals 11x plus negative 6, or 11x minus 6 would also be acceptable. Good. Alright, parallel and perpendicular lines. Again, this is something you've done before. We know what parallel lines are. They never intersect. Okay? And their slopes are equal. Okay? In other words, the slope of a line parallel equals the slope of the line. The little double, looks like a double L, or the slope of the line parallel. Now perpendicular lines they form a right angle. The slopes are opposite reciprocals. Their product, when you multiply them, their product is always -1. Their product is -1. So if A over B equals the slope, then the slope of a line perpendicular, that little upside down T means perpendicular, is negative B over A. Flip it over and change the sign. Flip it over and change the sign. All right, let's use that. Write the equation of the line through 7, 6 in parallel to y equals 9x, and this should be plus 6, and this should be plus 6 as well. Okay? Well, parallel means the slopes are the same. So this is my m, so the m of a parallel is going to be the same. It's going to also be 9. And now I have a slope and I have a point. So I can use point-slope form. Well, that would be y equals, we put 6 plus 9 times x minus 7. That would be our answer. Slope's the same as that one, so we just pull the slope from that line and we attach it to our new line. Alright, so let's look at the equation of the line through -1, 3 and perpendicular to y equals 6/5 x plus 6. So, well, again, my slope is 6 over 5, so my slope of my perpendicular is going to equal -5 over 6. So y equals 3 plus, we take the new slope, -5 over 6, times x minus -1, or if you put x plus 1, that would be acceptable as well, because the two negatives there multiply to be a positive, and that would be our answer. Okay. Now let's look at the example 7 here. Write the equation of a line from a graph. We want to write the equation of the line below. We've seen this line, we did it when we calculated slope. We said that it has the points 4, 0. Has the points 4, 0, and this point is the point 0, -3. And we calculated our slope to be, we said it was -3 minus 0 over 0 minus 4, which was -3 over -4, or just 3 over 4. The negatives canceling. So that's slope. Now, in this case, we could use one of the points. We easily could use one of the points and use point-slope form. However, you see right here, this is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is -3. That value is the y-intercept. That's where it crosses the y-axis. So B is -3. So all I have to do is y equals mx plus b, y equals 3/4 x minus 3 would be the equation of that line from the graph. All right. Horizontal and vertical lines. Horizontal and vertical lines. Horizontal lines equation is y equals some number. Just no x, no slope, y equals a number, because the slope is 0, so the x just disappears. It would be like having y equals 0x plus b. It's just y equals b, because the 0x drops out. So the equation of it's just y equals some number. A vertical line, there's no change in x. X stays the same. It's x equals a number. Alright, so let's look at these equations down here. This one is, look at this one first. This one is horizontal. So we look here and we look where it is, and we notice that x, all the numbers of x are covered, but y only hits y at one particular spot. And that's our clue of what the equation is. Y is always staying the same. Y equals 3 is the equation of that horizontal line. Y is unchanging. Okay? There is no rise. When there is no rise, it's horizontal, so y has to stay the same. Over here is a vertical line. Okay? And we notice that all of the y values are hit, but the x, it only hits one x value. No matter where I pick a point on here, it only has each x value. This is the point -2, 3, and this is the point -2, -2. But the x values are always going to be -2. So that's the equation of the line. X equals -2. Now we could have done the same thing over here. Picked a couple points. This is -3, 3, and this one is 4, 3. So you can see how the y values are not changing.